That's a big one. Golly, look at that fish. Look at that fish. Holy smokes. Hey guys, welcome back to Project D. Man, a little bit different this week. I got to get an episode done. I'm under the gun, been super busy with sponsor stuff, wanting to get one done to go hunting. And to me, this is what I've got the most confidence in anywhere across the country. It's going to be running up to the tributaries that feed the lake. And I'm going to break that down. I'm going to tell you why it is that way, why I think it's that way, why it works across the country all year long. It's not just like it is now in the fall. But, you know, and another thing, I got a windy day today. It's blowing 35 to 40 gusts today. It's just gassing big time. And it's really about the only place that's safe to get out on the water and fish these tributaries that go into the lake. So let's break it down today. I hope I catch some fish. I just got out here. It is 1:20. So we're going to make it happen, guys. Uh-oh, I seen a bass jump right where one ought to be, head of an island. There's one. My first fish of the day. What is it, a bass or something? It's a bass, all right. I literally just did my intro. I'm gonna just tell everybody what time it is. It's 1:21 and I caught my first bass. How about giving you some confidence? Golly guys, he is ice cold. So I ran all the way up this creek and this is where I stopped. My very first spot that I stopped is just this is an island, big oxbow back behind it, and it's got a little cut through right here. And it's just a spot that it's going to be good no matter where you're at in the country. Anything that you got that the current goes two different directions, you got a point right here, and I caught my first bass. Awesome. I cannot get over how cold he was. I'm showing water temperature 55, but man, that fish felt like an ice cube coming out of my freezer. He ate it too. There's one. It's a good one too. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's a chunker. Awesome. One of the reasons I think these areas for me are like, I've got so much confidence in them. When you think about fishing the lake, fishing out there, you know, a lake may be 100 feet deep or 50 foot deep or 200 feet deep, wherever you're from. But when you run up that tributary, you've now compressed everything. You know, the deepest this creek's gonna be is 20 feet at the most in an outside bend. The majority of it's gonna be 6, 8, 10 feet deep. So now my search zone has gone from, let's say your deepest spot in your lake, 70 feet in the fall when you don't have a thermocline. I've compressed all that down to 10 feet or less. So now my bait's gonna be in the strike zone way more and a lot less places to look. That's just one of the reasons why I run up these tributaries when I need to catch a bass. So, you know, I want to just explain why I started here. You know, I ran 5 miles up. I looked at this on Google Earth. You know, before I got here, I had never been here before. You know, Google Earth will tell you a lot, and it showed me this big horseshoe bend, and now this river, this creek's cut a channel through this side of it. So no matter what happens, the wind blowing this way, you know, if there's no current in the lake that you're fishing, this is a great pinch point, just a great area that will generate current, especially on a day like today with all this wind. It's just a very, very high percentage spot. And you know, when I'm looking for a spot to start or a spot to get my first bite, pick something different. You know, this is different. You don't have this all up and down this creek. You know, there's only one of these with this cut through, where this current's cut this channel through. Just pick something different than everything else in that creek when you go to start somewhere. I like the looks of this log. It's bigger than anything else I've seen coming down through here. Just need one to be home. And I watch that line just, oh, I thought that was a bite. Making sure on the fall it doesn't pop or stop suddenly. Baby eagle. Look at that. Thing's gonna land in the tree. Holy smokes, that's cool. Such a big bird. Wow. He hadn't got his plumage yet, I think so. I don't know what it's called. The white part of him, he hadn't got that yet. That's cool. Oh, there's something. What is that? Sand bass. Yeah, I might have caught all them I wanted in that other episode. Just buzzing down this bank trying to get to that log. Caught me a big old sand bass. Oh, man, I didn't know that that was a bite or not. I was throwing down that bank going pretty quick trying to get to this next log and picked up a spinnerbait and I got a bite. Wow. Man, they're cold. I cannot get over how cold they are. Fish number 3. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Man, another reason I have so much confidence, you know, across the country and I need to go catch a bass up the tributaries or whatever lake you're on is the water's stained. You know, so many times you can go to Table Rock, you can go to Beaver, you can go to any lake, the clearest lake in the country, and the stream that feeds it, it's gonna be more stained than the lake, you know? And anytime that water is stained, it's gonna be that much easier to catch them. I mean, I'm throwing a spinnerbait, you know? If it's crystal clear water, that's when you gotta pull out all those finesse techniques. So it's just one more reason I wanna give you guys why this, to me, is the absolute best thing for me to do to get, you know, to go catch a bass. If I had somebody said, for $1 million, you gotta go catch a bass, this is, you know, another reason why I would run up these tributaries. There's one. Oh, yes. Right on that point. Oh, he come off. Dang it. I got the goods out of him. I had a bite on that stump earlier, fished around this island, and I just came back to it hoping to catch that fish. And that fish was well up there on that point. There's a stump right there underneath the water. I don't know if you can see it, but there is one. That's a big one. Golly, look at that fish. Look at that fish. Holy smokes. Good night. Oh gosh, come here, baby. Golly, look at that one. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Man, that's my first flipping bite I've had today. Look at the size of it. Golly, what a giant. Oh my goodness, that's a beauty. Just short and fat. Wow. Golly, what a fish. What a fish. Man, I don't even know what to say. I'm just so excited to have caught such a big fish. Thing's just a mammoth. All right, what a fish. Oh man, thanks girl. That was so awesome. Look at the size of that thing, would you? That is a giant. There she goes. Yes, yes. Oh, that's a jig for you right there. That's my first jig bite for the fall. And it was a big one. Yes. And I flipped it in there and it just was heavy. And it's like, I better set the hook. And that fish was on there for a little bit. So, all right, that bite came just outside bend. I'd been going a long time, guys. You know, I caught those first 2 fish at 121. Caught another one, it's now 246. Just a man, I want you guys to know how long this is taking. You know, that's always something I always wonder watching a fishing show. You know, how long did it actually take them to catch those fish? So we're now at 2:46. That's my 4th fish landed. I lost another one, caught a sand bass. So I'll take that one and I'm done. I mean, that made my day because that's a giant. Golly, that's a giant. Oh, I love it. Man, I love it. It just makes me come back all day long. That was a big one. I mean, a big one. Analyze the bite, guys. That's always something I try to say in my videos. Analyze that bite. Right in the fork of the tree, out deeper. I mean, it's 7 feet deep if you were right there where that fish came from. You know, and maybe that's why I hadn't been getting near as many bites. You know, that spinnerbait, I'm fishing that 2 to 3 foot water. I got me a big old stick now. Interesting. Interesting. Big ones in here, guys. Big ones. That was a big one. That was a big one. Okay, that tells me, Edwin, work it out a little bit deeper. Tells me I just need to find the most predominant pieces of cover and fish them. Look at the beaver underneath the log. Hey, buddy. Thinks he's hiding, doesn't he? It's not deep enough. That tree that big one came out of, I felt like it was deep, you know. Another reason I have so much confidence, you know, in these tributaries that feed the lakes across the country, you know, it's a consistent water for the most part. You know, if the weather's been up and down and you've had a big cold front, or, you know, it's gotten super hot, you know, if you've got just a little bit of flow in here, that water temperature is going to be more consistent. It takes longer for it to get a big drastic change either direction, you know, when the weather's really cold or really hot. So, you know, for me, I won the Bassmaster Classic, you know, running way up the Elk River. And it was after a major cold front, you know, and the water had really cooled down in the main lake. Well, that water in the Elk, it just was consistent. You know, you always had a constant flow up there, and it was just a degree or two warmer than the rest of the lake, but those fish were accustomed to it. The front didn't affect it like it does a lake so many times, you know. So I think that's just another reason that I have so much confidence, you know, running up and fishing these kinds of areas in the lake. You know, when you're running up a creek or a river like this, the one trump factor of it all is when you find round a bend and you see shad everywhere, that's a great place to start. Another reason that I have a lot of confidence in these creeks and rivers that feed the lakes is, you know, it's a known fact that bass, bluegill, catfish, they head upstream when, or you know, into the current when flood events happen. They always go upstream. It's a fact. Our carp and stuff, that tends to go downstream. So, you know, just any of those fish in the lake, they just are always drawn towards, you know, going up the creek. And that's another reason that I always try to go to the very end, you know, to where I can't go anymore, because I always seem to always be a pot of fish right there at the very end of where I can actually get my boat. There's one. Feels like a nice one. Oh my goodness, it was a giant. Oh, it was another great big one. Oh my goodness, golly. Dang it. Dang it. Oh. Switched up to a crankbait. Coming down these rocks, I thought I'll throw that old square bull down through there, and had that bite right there. That's a big one. Oh, that's a good one. Golly. Oh, he choked it. Man, it was getting late, and I had to come back up here and try to fish that stump that I had that bite on earlier. And I got me another nice one. Not as big as that first one, but golly, that's a chunk. Look at that fish, would you? engulfed that spinnerbait. Oh, took my skirt down. I got him hooked too, buddy. He was not gonna come unhooked. Look at that fish. That is so awesome. I just love it. I just love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys, there it is. I was under the gun. I had to get out here and get you guys another project. I've been harvesting pecans, been working for my sponsors. I had to get one done. So I ran all the way up this river, you know, because to me, it's where I've got the most confidence on any body of water I've ever been to. And I did this on a body of water I've never been to. Today was my first day on this lake. And look what we did. I wish you could touch him because he is so cold. I mean, he is like ice. Dang it, that's a good one. Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks, bud. All right. Oh, man, that was fun. That was fun. I told you guys I'd give you a time. 4:58. I fished a long ways down this thing. It just got muddier, you know, and that's why I ran back up here. This is where I had all my bites. So keep that in mind when you go to attack these things. You know, look at that watercolor. Look how much bait fish you got in the water. Those are the things that are important to find what stretch they're in, you know, because these creeks and these rivers that feed a lot of lakes can be miles and miles long. And generally you'll find a section or a stretch that's better than the rest. But appreciate you guys following along. If you guys are needing any pecans, man, I've got killer ones. Let me just get them out right here. I've been eating on them, but it is that time of year. I got my harvest done. These are my favorite, the jalapeno. If you guys are needing any pecans, fresh pecans, I've got some good ones for you. So go to edwineverspecans.com. My wife's super good about getting them out. We got flavored ones. We do all kinds of custom tins. So like if you got a business that you know, you want to send out gifts, you know, we can custom label them for you, your business or your family, and you can give those things away as gifts. So I got social media and all that. If you guys want to go over there and follow me on Edwin Evers Pecans too, that'd be great. But appreciate you guys following along. Tune in next week. We'll be doing it all again.